Hi, everybody. Courtney from the Rule Breakers Club back again. Amber, you're here. I'm not talking about my 16-figure business yet, though I will be soon. You'll have to watch Amber's most recent scope for that one. Hi, Jennifer. Who else is here? Go ahead and say hi. I miss them when everyone comes in at the same time, and then I can't say hi to everybody. It's very upsetting. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for sharing, Amber. I just learned how to do that, and it makes me excited because I see some really good. Hi, Dale. How are you? Diana. Oh my God, everybody's here. How can you not love Periscope? Come on. It's crazy. All right. I feel like I'm hanging out with you guys. So crazy. Ooh, something tragic is happening. Hi, Jennifer. Hi. Okay, so as you guys are coming in, go ahead and let me know. I know, I'm in Montreal now, so we should do something. Why don't you let me know? Why don't you just let me know where you are and what you're not doing because you're on this Periscope. I have a client's sales page I need to send off this afternoon. I was out working on that, and then I finished that up just when Amber hopped on her scope, and it was super fun. And then I watched Michelle's when I got back while I was doing my laundry. And then I thought I would go ahead and cover another topic that I was asked on Twitter today. So how I've been doing it is people have been submitting me questions on Twitter by tweeting me at CourtRJ about topics they want to talk about. Working on a webinar, that's a good thing to procrastinate. I'm working on one too. I have one coming up next Wednesday. You can't see my beautiful eyes. Why not? What's wrong with my eyes? I don't know. Tell me what's happening. I can see my eyes. How many eyes do I have? So a question that was submitted, I think earlier today or yesterday, was about how did I expand my business and when to hire a VA? And Amber, I'm sure you're an expert at this. So, hi everyone coming in right now. We've got some people. My camera is too low. Is anyone else having that problem? Because I have a view of myself and I'm like right perfect in the camera. So I don't know what the deal is. I can go like that, but then my arm's going to get really tired. I can kind of lean. No, that's not comfortable. Okay, maybe it's the phone. Maybe it's the type of phone that you have. I'm on an iPhone 6, so I don't know if that's really weird. I don't know what that's about. I have no idea. I can't do anything about that. My eyes are here. They're attached to my head. Okay, so let's talk about when to hire a VA. So the first thing I think that is important to talk about here is not necessarily when to hire a VA, though I get that question every time I mention my VA. Someone asks me, when should I hire a VA? When am I ready? I think if you're asking that question, you need a VA, point blank. But maybe it's an Android thing, because I don't know if Periscope originally it wasn't on Android and maybe it's a little buggy. I know Periscope's super buggy, so it could be that. And I think that there's a big mental shift that needs to happen. I think that a lot of us start our businesses as freelancers or solopreneurs, and we have to step out of that mentality of being a solopreneur or a freelancer and into being a CEO, into running a global enterprise, which I was having a conversation a couple weeks ago when I was visiting my mentor, Natalie McNeil. And she said that since the beginning that she started She Takes on the World, which is her website, shetakesontheworld.com, she said from the time I started it, I asked myself, I was in the mentality that it was a global enterprise. And I was like, oh my God, that's a great way of looking at your business. So, if you're in the mentality that you're a solopreneur, which I really encourage people to stop using that term, it's one of those terms that really irks me because, while it's really cute, I think it reinforces this idea that you're supposed to do everything by yourself and you're like a crafter who just is selling widgets online, and there's nothing against crafters or Etsy or anything like that. But when you step into saying I'm running a business, and I think the word enterprise is even better, that you look at it totally differently. You start looking at ROI, you start looking at scalability and leverage and your time and what your time is worth and all those kinds of things. So, wow, we've got lots of people on. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let me know what you are not doing because you're watching this scope. So whatever you were about to do, and then you got the notification that this scope was on, please let me know what that is. I want to know all the productivity that I am preventing from happening in the world right now. It'll make me feel, I don't know how it'll make me feel. Let's see how it makes me feel. I think it'll make me feel better about myself since I keep stopping doing things. So I've had an extremely productive day. I let myself do scopes after I finish a batch of work. You're working on a pathetic website. I was on another scope and had a crappy connection. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, okay. I'm about to submit a client their sales page, which I'm really excited about. It looks really good, and she's just a really cool lady. And then I'm going to work on. I'm finishing up the membership area for TKO Summer School, which is actually what I'm really excited to do, but I have other things I need to finish before that. And I also need to update some financial stuff today. So Amber will be proud of me because we just talked about that on her scope for my 16-figure business. I do not have a 16-figure business. Okay, so global enterprise, if you're wondering if you should hire a VA, if you came on here thinking, oh, I need to know if I need a VA, then you probably need a VA. The answer is probably yes. So what is holding you back? If you haven't hired a VA yet, what is holding you back? I can probably assume, I think the number one thing is fear that the revenue won't be there to pay them, that you're not sure you'll be able to pay them every month. I think that's a big thing for people. And I can tell you how that was a big thing for me. And I've had my VA for about a year, maybe a year and a few months. I think I've had her since March of 2014. And, sorry, I thought I lost a connection there. I've been with her since March of 2014, and it was really scary for me because, number one, I had no idea how to manage someone, and number two, I had no idea if the revenue would be there. So the solution that I had that made me feel a lot better about this was I hired a VA through a company called You Assist Me, and it's the letter U, assist.me is their website. And I just pay a monthly fee to them, and my VA works with me 20 hours a month. So that's what I do. And that makes me feel better about me not being responsible for her well-being. That was a way easier thing for me. And it was $250 a month, so I felt like that I could take on as an expense and make sure that the money was there. Sometimes when you hire people, you are going to make less money than them. Now, $250 a month, I'm making more than $250 a month, but oftentimes you're going to make less money than your employees when you're starting a business because they're an investment in the business. And when I learned that was a huge revelation for me, and that it's okay that I'm not making all this money, that the business needs certain things to... I don't know how I did it without my VA either. I think having another person working with you is huge. It takes you totally out of that solopreneur mentality. It forces you to get systems in place. It forces you to think like a manager. It forces you to go into your entrepreneur role. It forces you to learn how to work with people. It forces you to think of your business as something that's supporting other people other than yourself. If you don't have a VA and you're on this scope, you probably need one. And you'll figure it out. I think going with a company like the one I went with is a great way of starting. Then I went and I hired, so in December of 2014, about 6-7 months ago, I hired Diane, my operations manager. So I was at a point where I needed someone who was capable of a more specific skill set. And a lot of the things my VA, Catherine, does, she's amazing. I absolutely love her. Oh, did I remove my keyboard? Oh, that's funny. I wanted Diane to be in. She does a lot of content, customer service. We do some strategizing together. I trust her to write copy for me, which you can imagine is a big deal. And she edits everything I do. She edits all of our client work. She edits all of our newsletters, blog posts, emails. If they have time, sometimes I have to plug them in before she can get to them, and it frustrates her because she hates I make a lot of typos and a lot of link mistakes. So my new motto is double, triple, quadruple check everything, Courtney, because the bigger my business gets, the more opportunities there are for me to make really stupid little mistakes that can cost a lot. So I'm trying to be better at that. What questions do you have about hiring VAs? Because I'm happy to answer those. And there's quite a few people on, but I'm not seeing a lot of questions. I'm happy to answer those questions. If you're worried about managing people, you figure it out. I've never managed anyone in my life. I've never had a real job. I don't even know what a manager is supposed to do, other than my mom is an excellent manager, and she's helped me a little bit when I've had issues, but which is always my fault. I think that's something else you should know, that if your team members are not doing what you want them to do, it's usually your fault. And the sooner you realize that, the better. Sometimes they're delinquent and, they don't show up, or they, you give them 3 strikes, you're out, and they, they don't follow. But usually it's from clarity, and I've learned a lot about managing. And again, seeing my business as a global enterprise rather than me being a solopreneur, or worse, a freelancer. The word freelancer is terrible because that basically means you are at the mercy of all of your clients. You're not running a business. You do like projects. When you're a solopreneur, it's a little bit better. You're seeing yourself as a business owner, but you see yourself as someone who has to do everything. And when you become a CEO, you start to look at your business as a bigger thing. And it has a lot more potential, and it can be scary, but I would love for you to take that next step up. What else was I going to say? Here are the things you should be focusing on. So you're like, okay, so what should I give my VA? The things you should be focusing on as an entrepreneur are anything you have to do. So obviously I have to create my videos. I do my scopes. Like, these are things I enjoy doing and I wouldn't outsource anyway, but things where I have to be the face of, I write all my content, things like that. Diane writes, I don't think it's negative, but I don't like it. I think it's a great way of getting started because it feels less scary than starting your own business. I started out as a freelancer, but it means you're not niche. You're not a business. You wait for projects to come, or you have to go find projects. And a lot of times freelancers have like 2 main clients that they work for. They basically just have more jobs. It's worse than having a job, quite frankly, being a freelancer. I think it's a dangerous way of looking at yourself. And so the things you should be focusing on as an entrepreneur are sales, number 1, business growth, which has to do with sales, growing the business, the direction of the business, the brand of the business, the voice, all that kind of stuff is up to you, and clients. And anything else that you absolutely have to do, but be careful with that because we tend to think we have to do things we don't. Like, I have Diane writing a lot of tweets. So we do the blog every week now. We've gone to weekly blog videos, which I'm super excited about this month. And she every week goes to the blog and she writes the tweets for the blog that we schedule. So I write the content and then she can come up with those. So that's how we separate that. What else? What else do I have them doing? I don't know. That's pretty much all I have to say about that for now. If there's no questions, I've got more work to do. It's a busy Friday. I'm probably going to be working all weekend because I have a big launch next week for Total Knockout Summer School, which is opening on Monday. And then we have a webinar on Wednesday. And we've also got this Lucky Bitch bonus that we're doing. So tons and tons and clients and everything. It's just a busy time, busy summer. So I will see you guys in the next scope. Go ahead and tweet me at CourtRJ if you have a specific question, specific topic you'd like me to talk about on another scope. I may or may not be back tonight to do one. It just depends on how I feel. And if not, I'll see you guys soon. Mwah! Have a great rest of your day, wherever you are. And go get some shit done and start running that global enterprise. See you later.